Handicapper tap, he wins it by a half. Back to this here in the Telegraph.
For a beer I'll fight, I hear his foot's all right.
Hello racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Holiday Monday program, the Victoria Day card. Monday, May the 19th. We do have 9 races.
Day, yeah.
We have 9 races on tap. Should be a great afternoon. 2 stakes races.
Yep. The Strawberry Morn for older girls and the John Longden for older boys. There's a lot of races on this card that I had trouble with. I mean,
it's a good card.
It's a really good card. It's going to be a great card. It should be a sunny, nice Victoria Day. Victoria Days are historically great race days, beautiful days, and full days at Hastings Park. And of course, we'll be open here at the Derby Bar and Grill. And if you are out there on Victoria Day, drop by and get some of those Derby donuts.
Yes, they're popular.
They are.
They don't cost a whole lot, and they're scrumptious. I know they've been selling quite a few of them,
yeah.
So the Derby donuts
Go
are...
see our man Kyle. Little Kyle's out there pushing the Derby donuts.
All right, on to the first race. First half of your double. We do have some $8,000 claimers. Non-winners at 3 lifetime, actually non-2 lifetime, non-3 BC bred. They're going to go 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 2-horse Stone Ridge Storm. He's taking quite a bit of a dip in class for trainer Craig McPherson, last year's leading trainer.
Yeah.
And work tab's good. It looks like the controlling speed in here. So I'm going to make, I think he's the horse. I put the 4-horse Dog in for second. He's been running down at Phoenix at Turf Paradise. He's been running a little longer, probably not his best distance, 6.5. But I think maybe he can get a stalking trip to stop his Stone Ridge Storm. And if that one doesn't win it, maybe Dog would be your second horse. And I put the 1-horse Shotgun Ralph in for third. He was running in some, another one that was running a little tougher last year, but it is his first start of the year, and we'll see. I went 2-4-1 in the Monday opener.
I don't have much to add. I got Stone Ridge Storm on top, the reasons you mentioned. I put Dog in for second, like the fact that he's been running in Phoenix. I went with I'm the Dude with Attitude in the third spot.
Yeah.
He won. Moves up to 8,000, but I can see him definitely making, hitting the board in here. Yep. So I put him in the third spot. I got 2, 4, and 5 in the opener. In the second, Fillies and Mares, Maiden, 12-5. I've gone to the 4 Irish Lyric out of the Phil Hall barn, good friend of the Derby. Praven Sorensen owns this horse. Amadeo Perez takes the call, taking over from Freddie Manrique. He's dropping from a maiden special weight to 12-5. I think it's all systems go for Irish Lyric. The second spot, I put Battling Brook. I think these are your 2 horses. I think it drops off a little bit after this. Battling Brook just got beat a half by Appreciate the Roses out of the Anita Bolton barn. Battling Brook, that was her first start of the year. She was running maiden special weights last year, took the dip to maiden 12-5 first out of the boxes here and just missed. She'll be a handful in here too. After that, I started searching around for a horse, and I came up with the Kula Kid out of the Jim Brown barn. Works look pretty good. Jim Brown can have a horse ready. Gets in very light, 105 with Bug Girl, Corinne Andros. I got 4, 1, and 2.
Yeah, I like your top 2. I think I went Battling Brook on top, though. Battled pretty hard. Got beat by Appreciate the Roses, who sat back and watched the speed duel materialize. Ended up getting beat late, but I thought this horse ran very courageous first time out, and I think she's going to be really dangerous. I agree with the 4-horse Irish Lyric. I got her in for second. She goes in blinkers. Significant drop in class. I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of those 2 fillies win it. And I put the 3-horse Dreaming All-Star in for third. Good runner-up effort to Storm Quality, and I thought a pretty good race. So this horse showed me something in her debut, and I might have something to build on. But I went 1, 4, and 3, but I agree the 1 and 4 are the top 2 horses. On to the third race, got some $5,000 claimers that have not won 4 races lifetime. They're going to go 6.5 furlongs, and I ended up on the 6-horse Veni Vidi Vici. I liked him first time out. He ran a good second at big odds. Vying for Glory beat him on the fair and square, ran him down, but I just think this horse back at the same level is going to be dangerous. We won't get the same 16-1, but I still think there's not anyone to go with him, and I think he's going to be dangerous on the head end. I put the 2-horse This Bruise for You in for second. Scratched a couple weeks back, but still a horse that ran some races last year that would win against this caliber. So and gets Amadeo Perez for Mel Snow, who has off to a good start this year. Excellent work tab for This Bruise for You. And I put the 5-horse Lucky Moly Miner, who had a troubled journey first time out, got into quite a bit of trouble in the lane, and I thought this horse would have been right there with some clear sailing, and didn't get away all that well either. So I mean, this horse was farther back than usual, and then got into some trouble late in the race. So there's some reasons why Lucky Moly Miner may move forward today. So I went 6, 2, and 5, but I like the speedy Veni Vidi Vici.
I looked at Veni Vidi Vici, and what I didn't like is it's going another half furlong longer, and I just think that might be a bit too much. So I went for the horse that finished just behind him last time. 3-point play out of the Patty Leaney barn. Her horse is off to a good start, 50% in the money. Her and Ryan Pacheco, Ryan's been riding a fair bit further. The horse has been running good. In the second spot, I put Crossrail Court out of the Mike Anderson barn. The underrated Keyshawn Balgobin picks up this horse. He's got a start this year, and I like the way that he can move forward off that start. And in the third spot, I put this Bruce for you, as you mentioned, out of the Mel Snow barn, Amadeo Perez and Mel Snow. Mel's horse is off to a good start, and Amadeo Perez is riding very well and starting to get his foot into the Mel Snow barn. I went 4, 1, and 2 in the third. On the fourth, Fillies and Mares Maiden Special Weight. Very interesting race. You can make a case for a lot of horses in here. I have gone to the 6 Champagne Gal, owned by Shelley Bancroft, good friend of the show.
Yes,
actually, Mr. Glenn Todd's daughter. Mario Gutierrez is coming in to ride this filly. He'll be up here for the day. Another bonus for Victoria Day.
Yes,
Super Mario back in town. And this is his first mount of the day. And this
big pressure.
Yeah, big pressure. This filly's, the work tabs aren't really good, like that 105 in that. I think maybe they were working her in the middle of the track or something that day, because she has got quite a bit of talent, and I fully expect her to show it off in her first start. I expect her to win. In the second spot, I went with the 9, Flatter You, out of the old Dave Forster barn. Joe Steiner was supposed to ride this horse last time. He was not here in time. Bug Girl Corinne Andos picked up and rode the horse very well. But with a stronger rider such as Rico Walcott, I think maybe she can improve a little bit more and maybe make some noise. I do not think she'll beat the 6, but I could see her in the second spot. And I went with the other horse who finished second in the split, Fire Beauty, out of the Mel Snow barn. There we go again, Mel Snow and Amadeo Perez hooking up. For that one, I got 6, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
go Shelley.
Go Shelley. I've got some different picks, but it's a good race. So there's some talented young fillies in this one that can make an impression, and it wouldn't surprise me if any one of the 10 horses won the race. It's that kind of race.
Yeah.
I can't fall in love with anyone. I went to the 10 Farniente, a good runner-up effort to the brother Chunky last year. That was running against the boys. It was a good effort. Craig McPherson, the horse has been working well. Richard Hamill rides. This horse might be the speed of the race. I don't think Flatter You is fast. Fire Beauty isn't fast. Blended isn't fast. I think this horse might be able to scoot out there from its outside gate and might even get the lead. So Farniente, I'm going to take a shot on that one. I like the outside 3 horses, actually. Fire Beauty, good runner-up effort to Sensational Beauty. That was a good run. Yeah. And also the 9 horse Flatter You, as you mentioned, for Dave Forster. Good runner-up effort to Avadiva, kind of battling on the head end that day. But really not a speed horse, Flatter You. This horse was coming from off the pace all the time last year, but was put in play by the bug girl Corinne Andros. And this horse still hung on well to be second. And we should note that number 5, Xenia, owned by hockey player Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. This horse is making its first career start, and best wishes to Ryan, who will definitely be in attendance to watch this filly run. Paid $27,000 for it at the sale.
We're getting all the rock stars out on Victoria. We have Mario in town. We got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in town.
It'll hopefully be a great day.
Out of the very good mare, Annie Z.
Annie Z, yes, good mare, and but still a very tough race to debut for Xenia. There's a lot of horses. A lot of them have starts under their belt, and but a good betting race. Shop around. It should be a lot of fun. The 4th race, but I went 10, 8, and 9 in the 4th. On to the 5th race, an allowance event for 3-year-olds.
Another good race.
Not won 2 races. Not in 3 BC bred. I landed on the 3 horse, Never a Better Cause, dropping back out of stakes company into this event, and eligible because the horse is a BC bred. He has won 2 races, but the BC bred clause gets him in the race, and good spot for Never a Better Cause. Had an outside draw, ran an even race behind Aspen Getaway and Tempest, but I think this horse will be pretty salty in this race. I mean, you're not going to get much of a price, but I went to the 4, Burnaby Baron in for second. Also exits the same Jim Coleman Province race. This horse was a little far back after being squeezed at the start, but I think this horse will be a little bit better with Amadeo Perez aboard, who our leading rider a couple of years back, but always seems to get a wide
Just missed last year too.
Yeah, to Enrique Gonzalez. And I put the 1 horse off the top, impeccably bred son of Rosberg out of the mare Sophie J. wouldn't be surprised to see this one really improve as a 3-year-old. Kind of a big horse that still ran well at 2, but might be a little less cumbersome as a 3-year-old and might have a little more athletic ability. And we'll see if this horse does well. But I like the 1, 3, and 4 in here. I think all 3 of them will be dangerous, but I did go to last year's top 2-year-old, Never Better Cause on top. I went 3, 4, and 1.
I went to the 6, Why Is the Rum Gone, out of the Troy Taylor barn.
You're going to the whole family.
Owned by Glenn Todd's
other
daughter, Dana Barker. I'm sure the Todd girls will be in attendance on Victoria Day. But of course, I don't want to play favorites, so I picked both their horses to win.
Yeah.
But Why Is the Rum Gone looked very good last year. The first time he got in quite a bit of trouble. Didn't break at all, and it was just a typical green first start. And second start, made no mistake. I like Why Is the Rum Gone. The second spot, I put Jordan's Quest, or the Sylvia Gregory barn. He was making his second start. Ran in a fairly tough 16 with Admiral Morgan and Private Tanner, a horse like that, and absolutely destroyed that field. Ran away and hid from him, 1 by 7. Got a giant buyer in 73 in a fairly decent time at 1:17 and 1. The track has gotten faster since then, too. The track wasn't playing real fast at that time. So I don't mind that horse at all. I put him in the second spot. And the third spot, Burnaby Baron out of the Phil Hall barn.
Gonna pull for Brave.
Yep, totally.
Brave
Good friend of the show. Good friend of the Derby Barn Grill, Praven Sorensen. Burnaby Baron, the well-bred son of Rockport Harbor. I think he, drops out of that stake. Second start of the year. I think this is also a horse you can watch. Being a Rockport Harbor out of an Artex mare, he's going to get better as he gets older. So look for him to improve as the year goes on. I got, what did I go to? 6, 2, 4 in the 5th. On to the 6th race. Maiden 5,000, 3-year-olds and up. This race, I went to the 2, Pride and Promise, out of the Rosie Anderson barn for Wheeled and Thoroughbreds. Don't know much about this horse. Like, there's no form on it. Just works. It's a quiet cash out of a mud rope mare. But Rosie and Wheeled and Thoroughbreds do very well together. Look at the stats on Rosie and Richard Hamill. 83% over the last 2 years. Extremely impressive. The horse worked in 1:04, which for this type of race is going to make this horse a handful, I feel. I look for this one to win first out, right off the hopper. 2, Pride and Promise. The second spot, I went to the 1, Rocky's Amigo. Would love to see this horse win for Joe and Margie Berg. Bred by the late Carl Berg, a long-time racetrack. Member of the racetrack community who passed away last year. Owned now by his son and his widow. Would love to see Rocky's Amigo win it. I got him in second spot. And the third spot, Boots Gray, had an out this year. Ran second to Fast Stop, the very well-meant Fast Stop out of the Anita Bolton barn. Nobody that tough in here for him, so Boots Gray, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get all the roses. 2, 1, and 5 for me.
I agree with your top 2. I'm going to go to Rocky's Amigo to win it, though.
I'd love to see him win it.
Yeah, no, me too. Has speed, and I think the experience edge of last year, this horse might break well and be in play early. But I agree with your 2 horse, Pride and Promise. This horse has got good connections and nice work tab. I think those are your 2 horses. I went to the 1 and 2 on top, and I put the 8 horse Regal on her, who was scratched last week or 2 weeks ago.
Just worries me the 2 years.
Yeah, had a lot of form on him for a maiden. He's had a lot of chances, but still his works this spring have been very good, and I thought he'd be the 3rd best horse. But I like the speed of Rocky's Amigo, Keyshawn Balgaben, for new trainer Stephanie Fedora.
Oh yeah, former jockey.
Stephanie Fedora for the Bergs, and so best of wishes to Rocky's Amigo, and I hope he wins it. But I put Pride of Promise in for second. I put 1, 2, and 8 in the 6th. On the 7th race, got some maiden $25,000 3 and up here, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 7 horse Cowboy Commander for Phil Hall. This horse missed the start in its debut. Still rushed up to be in contention against Qatar's Pearl and Spirit River. Oh, it was a pretty good effort.
Are we picking all the Phil Hall horses because he's here?
I know, he's actually watching the show. We didn't pick these horses before Phil showed up. But Cowboy Commander goes on the Lasix program. This horse is going to be dangerous. Gets on a fast track, and I think with a better beginning, this horse could be speed and
all-around cowgirl.
Fits nicely in this condition. Dropping down for 25. Rico Walcott. You got a lot of positive things going for the 7 horse Cowboy Commander. So first time Lasix, excellent jockey in Rico Walcott. And a horse that ran a troubled, had a lot of excuses in its debut, but still showed some run. I put the 8 horse Prince Galovic in for second. For Troy Taylor, flashed some speed against in that same race that Cowboy Commander was coming out of, but it got hung out deep. Didn't fare very well in the end of it. It wouldn't wasn't all that impressed with the horse running 10th, beating 16, but still the horse.
He had a bad trip. You could
He was wide out.
Yeah,
and, did get checked out, and I think that just was eased the last part, so that's why the horse was so far back. But I think 7 and 8 are my 2 initial horses, and I put the 5 horse, a bunch of the boys, debuting for $25,000 after being purchased for $118,000 by Mr. Peter Redekop.
That's something.
Yeah, that was the sales topper a couple years back. A finality out of the mare Remarkable Gal, a half-sister to Trick of the North, winner of over $400,000, and numerous other horses like Sunnyside Gal.
Yeah, very.
It's been an excellent family. He didn't pay you that much money because it didn't have a good family.
Yeah, very strong.
But
strong
obviously, things. It's not an exact science breeding, and that's why, this horse didn't race at 2. Works are all right. Shows up for $25,000. So obviously, not a superstar, but still a horse you must respect. Amadeo rides for the undefeated Anita Bolton Barnes. So I went 7, 8, and 5.
I'm going to keep riding that barn until they lose.
You're going to. Well, why not?
I picked a bunch of the boys. Love the connections. Peter Redekop, Anita Bolton, as Mike mentioned, 5 for 5 to start the meet. 36 and 1, nice blowout the other day. The bullet worked. The breeding couldn't be better. The only question is why for 25? They like to. I know these connections like to spot their horses where they will win. I'm looking for that to happen. The second spot, I took the 1 Shingen Sky. What I find interesting here.
You have a lot of Patty Leaney horses.
I do have a lot of Patty Leaney horses this weekend. What I find interesting here is like Craig McPherson has 2 in here. And Richard Hamill lands on the Patty Leaney horse.
Yeah, that's good.
So he would have had
good
his,
angle.
I think he would have had his choice of the McPherson horses. I feel that Hamill's agent probably saw something he liked about Shingen Sky's race in the maiden special weight, that Qatar's Pearl. There's something that he liked about this horse, and he went after this horse and got it off because Ishmael Mascara, of course, has gone back to Alberta. Yeah. So I think Shingen Sky might be a bit of a wise play in here just to throw in and keep him in the mix. And the third spot, I took Street Map. Interesting horse here. Was trained by Dino Condolinos. Apparently, Swift no longer wanted the horse. They tried him here for maiden 30 or maiden 27.5. He got beat by Step Up for the Money and Run Stormy Run and Step Up. Was bought privately by John Snow, and John can have one ready. And he's a street cry out of a Sather Wells mare. I'm willing to give him a shot. John saw something he liked. He shows up for maiden 25. I'll take a shot on him. So I got 5, 1, and 6 in the 7th. On to the 8th, the Strawberry Morn. Here we go. We get into the stakes company. Very good stakes race. Another one where you can make a case for quite a few of them here. I went to Madeira Park. Just got beat by a head last out to Hollywood Miss. Hollywood Miss had been running in California. She was race fit. Madeira Park, it was her first race of the year. She's not really a sprinter. I think there's going to be a fair bit of pace in here for her to run at. I look for Madeira Park to run a big one and win it. I put Castanet Dancer. I just see a lot of speed in here. Miss Derrick, she's very speedy. Overvalued, I think so. I think there's going to be, and they're all down on the rail, so I think they're going to go. I think Madeira Park, I think Castanet Dancer with Mario Gutierrez could get a very good trip in here. I got her in the 3rd spot. She's a classy old 6-year-old mare who likes to close. Mario knows her well. Mario, in my opinion, probably the best rider to ever ride here at Hastings, is coming back for the day. I like that move that he ends up on Castanet Dancer. And in the 3rd spot, I took the 2, Miss Derrick. She is going to be part of your pace. That worries me, but I know they're very high on her. Works are very good. There's a 58 and 3, a couple works ago. So I'm going to put her in the mix. I don't necessarily like the fact that she's going to have a lot of pressure in this race, but I put her in the mix. I got 7, 5, and 2.
Yeah, I like the 1 horse overvalued. I think this horse gets the comfortable lead. She got really pressured last time by, I think it was Dear Lily. Was the one that went after her, and she got pushed through a half and 45 flat, and it really cost her. I don't see any 45 flat horses in here. I know I think so has 47 speed, but I mean, Miss Derrick's more of a router. I don't know. I just saw the race a little bit different. Just I'm handicapping that Overvalue is going to get away a little cheap on the head end, and she could be dangerous. And so I like her to maybe rebound off of her defeat first time out because she was well backed. And she moves inside. I think it's a good move. And I'm going to try Overvalue to defeat the 3, I think so. And I put Madeira Park in for 3rd. I kind of thought the race might not have a ton of speed. And that's why I didn't fancy Madeira Park or any of the closers, like Turlani, who I think is a very nice filly. Turlani, that's my upset horse is Turlani. She had to run wide into a very slow pace allowance race last time, but still ran, I thought, a pretty good third. But I like Over Valley. I think that's your horse. I'm going to try the 1, 3, and 7. But as you mentioned, a good race, a lot of nice fillies in here. We're going to have a lot of fun in the older mare division. On to the 9th and final, the Johnny Longden 6000. Usually a mile and a 16th, but it is 6.5 furlongs. Close out the Holiday Monday program. I ended up on the 3. Well, not a tough pick, although the 125 pounds could be a salty assignment for title contender. Seems like a lot of weight to be packing in the first stake. First stake, I don't know, just especially when you're waiting off of allowance conditions. That's why I hate allowance conditions in them early stakes. When you get to a handicap now, this horse really, for me, should be carrying 121 pounds. And
I bet the connections don't feel that.
I know, I know. And a bunch of them should be in the 17, 16 range, and that's
especially a lot of the riders
125. Here. That's like a horse that had won 6 races in a row carries 125 in 1 year, not with a season in between.
Yeah.
But that's a bunch of weight, and they might get a beat, and hopefully it doesn't cost us having him here. But title contender is going to be very dangerous. 2-horse Wildcat, and the 1 entry, I think the 3-1. Well, the number 1 entry's got to be I went to Taylor's Deal as a second horse. He's a cool horse. Doesn't run very often, but when he runs,
once
he wins.
In the last 2 years,
he runs. He wins and he wins. He's 6 for 10 lifetime and been working well.
Very talented horse.
And I put the 2-horse Wildcat. We got everybody Wayne Oliver and Firavento and the Cowboys and Indian stable in for third. So, but I do like title. Title contender's your horse. I went 3-1 because there's a 3-horse entry in here, so the numbers are a little jumbled up. We don't have numbers on our on our racing form right now, but being so far out as of taping. But title contender, I believe, is the 3, but that's the one I like, and I like the 1A Taylor's Deal for second and the 2 Wildcat for third. I went 3, 1, and 2.
I agree with title contender. Yeah. You're gonna have to show me for him to get beat, right?
What's he carry next time if he wins? 27? Like, it's only me.
What does he carry, a hockey player?
I know.
So, as Mike said, we don't have numbers on these, and there is an entry, so this could get a little jumbled around for us, but I believe title contender's a 3. That's who I went with. I will keep picking Anita Bolton until she gets beat.
Not a dumb move. That's a good move. All she does is win.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You just keep cashing.
Why be too smart?
Just keep cashing.
Just keep going with the winning trainers.
I put Wildcat in the 2nd spot. I thought Wildcat had a very good run of the day. He had a lot of trouble.
He could have been right there in that race.
It's very rare that the rail doesn't open up at the head of the lane here, and it didn't. And he was jammed the whole way. And when he finally got a little daylight, he came running.
I was amazed how handy he was.
Too late.
This horse left there good. His horse is usually 10 lengths out of it going long.
Yeah.
And this horse was like handy, crawling up on heels on the turn. Like this horse was ready.
He was
ready.
He was
ready.
Yeah, he is. And he's a nice horse. And all the best to the connects, especially our good friend of the Derby, Wayne Oliver. Go get him, Wayne. I got him in the 2nd spot, Wildcat. In the 3rd spot, I put the entry. I did the same thing. I picked Taylor's Deal. Then I realized it was an entry, so I got 3 of them. Success rate, Devil in Disguise. That's all right. But Mario's on Taylor's Deal. I believe that's your horse. 1 race in 2 years, and he won it.
In a good time. He's a nice horse.
He is a really cool horse. Very special horse. It's a shame that they haven't been able to run him more throughout his life. He's 5 years old with only 10 starts. But he shows up for the live ones, as they say. When he shows up, he wins. So I believe the numbers again are 3, 2, 1. It's title contender, Wildcat, Taylor's Deal, the Troy Taylor entry for me in the nightcap. Up next will be a recap of me and Mike's selections. As always, Mike will be up first.
There we go. There's our 9 races for the Monday holiday program. I went to the 2. Stone Ridge Storm over the 4 and 1. Second race I went to the 1, Battling Brook, 1-4-3. Third race, number 6, Veni Vidi Vici, 6-2-5. And the 4th race I went to the 10, Far Niente, but a very difficult 4th race. I went 10, 8, and 9. Race number 5, I went to the 3, Never a Better Cause, 3-4-1. Race number 6, the speedy number 1, Rocky's Amigo, over the 2, Pride and Promise, and the 8, Regal Honor. 7th race, number 7, Cowboy Commander, over the 8 and 5. In the 8th race, the Strawberry Morn, I went to the 1, Overvalued, over the 3, I think so, and the 7, Madeira Park, and in the 9th and final, the Johnny Longden 6000, named for the great Johnny Longden that won on Prince Scorpion in August of 1965, I believe.
Holy shnikes, Mike. Very good.
6,000th victory right here at Exhibition Park.
Were you there, Mike?
No, I was not. I was alive, but not here. I went 3, 1, and 2 to close it out.
And on to my picks in the, are we up there yet? There we go. The first, I agree with Mike on number 2, Stone Ridge Storm. over the 4 Dog and the 5 I'm the Dude with Attitude. That's in the first. In the second, I went with the 4 Irish Lyric over the 1 Battling Brook and the 2 Coola Kid. In the third, I went to the 4 3-Point Play over the 1 and the 2. In the fourth, I went to the 6 Champagne Gal. This is my Red Star special. Best bet of the day. Number 6
Go
Champagne
Shelley.
Gal. Go Shelley over the 9 and the 8. In the fifth, I went to Why Is the Rum Gone? Go Dana. Over the 6 and the 2.
rum will be gone
the
if
rum will
both
be
of
gone.
those two girls win.
The rum will be gone. I'm glad I will not. I'm glad I'm on the one paying for the champagne.
Yeah.
Where am I at? The 6th race, I went to the 2 Pride and Promise over the 1 and the 5. In the 7th, I went to the 5 A Bunch of the Boys over the 1 and the 6. In the 8th, I went to the 7 Madeira Park over the 5 and the 2. And in the nightcap, the 9th, again, we're not totally sure on the numbers here. I went to Title Contender, Wilo Cat, and Taylor Steele. I believe they're 3, 2, and 1.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner for the Monday, the May the 19th program. Don't forget 9 races. First post at 1:50, and then our next live card. Well, once again, we get back to the Saturday, Sunday schedule the following week. And on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We enjoyed giving you a little bit of insight here on Handicapper's Corner. And we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
If he says the horse can do,